Yes, thanks for staying with us on the SA Sports Show. Boxing starting to make a move. Yeah, you're a bit of a boxing fan, aren't you?
I love the boxing.
All right, let's find out how difficult it is, how things are progressing here in South Australia. We'll get the matchmaker. Phil Miller joins us. Phil, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Mate, the matchmaker, is that the promoter or is it the, what's the title?
No, my key role is to get the nominations from the coaches and organise the bouts between the competitors. So I'll look at their record, look at their weight, look at their skills and abilities, put that proposal back to the trainer and they'll accept it or decline it, and really build the show around that. So, and then weigh them in the morning, make sure their weights are okay, and then we go for the nighttime competition.
You know, when you talk about the weights, and obviously coaches are fairly defensive and sometimes some are aggressive, I suppose. They've got a mixed bag in there. But when you talk about them having to drop a bit of weight to go into a fight, we were talking before we came on air, they're pretty lean to start with. Yeah. How difficult for them to shred a couple of kilos?
Look, I think most boxers have a walk-around weight that they just naturally walk around it, and then if you're an experienced coach, you would have a training schedule leading up to competition time, so you would gradually cut weight leading up to that competition. So it's not something you don't do overnight. You build your way to your competition weight, which is your ideal weight for your size and power, and you'd build up to that weight loss. You wouldn't do it overnight.
But as a matchmaker now, Phil said it in the opening, that there's a bit of a resurgence in boxing. I've seen it. That UFC was the only thing you wanted to watch there at one stage. But right now, there's been, because all divisions have a great fighter, or great fighters, not just one. Have you seen that resurgence locally?
Definitely in amateur boxing, we're probably as popular as we ever been. We've got more registered clubs in South Australia than ever, and I think a lot of that has been the gyms introducing a boxing fitness component into the gyms, and you're really opening up the knowledge of people, the general public coming into boxing. So and also giving parents more choices of what their sons and daughters can do as a sport. So and lessening, kind of introducing them that the boxing isn't just a brutal sport. It's got a bit of finesse and skill and science behind it.
It helps if we've got a champion, doesn't it? It helps if we've got one out there that's doing well. Jeff Horn did well, beat Pacquiao, which was an amazing fight, which he did win, although there was a lot of controversy. No, he won that fight. He won that not clearly, but he won the fight. We got another one on the way, young Zoo, Costa's lad, who is also a gun, who wants to fight Horn, I think. He wants to fight he'll fight anybody, but you need those guys there. You need them up there fighting and winning for boxing to...
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got lots of talented fighters in Australia, but we just need to get the media and the promoters behind them to showcase them, and the fans to get on board. So, you know, there's lots of other good fighters in Australia, just need to be showcased, that's all, and given an opportunity.
Phil, you touched on it before, mothers, sons and daughters. I mean, we've seen a massive surge in the AFLW in the interest in women in footy. Has there been a surge from the women in boxing?
Oh, absolutely. Look, we've got a terrific female team going over to the Olympics next year. We won quite a few gold medals at the Com Games last year. And in South Australia, we've got a female development team with a female coach, a highly skilled female coach. So we do a lot of female development, and I certainly would put my money on some of these females against the males at times if they're allowed to, because they're certainly competitive and they certainly know how to box.
This does not augur well for husbands of the future. This does not augur well for them. But it's great, because it's great exercise. It is. Boxing is one of the toughest things you can do.
Yep.
Have you ever done 3 minutes, Phil?
Yeah, we did it cross-training.
Well,
it's a killer.
It's one of the toughest things you can do. So to get kids and girls or whatever involved, I think it's great, because physically it's a great challenge for anybody to be able to stand in that ring, keep your hands up for 3 minutes. And people think it's easy until you get punched in the face, and then it's not easy.
That's not so easy. Phil, a lot of people see that side of it, the physicality side of it, but when you talk to the boxers, and we've had a couple of lads on here, and I've spoken to a couple of girls, there's actually a great mental component to it. And I reckon that gets lost in it, you know, the ability to concentrate, because the moment you stop, is the moment you're going to get knocked out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, you know, in any sport, pick footy because that's one we will talk about. But Blake switches off, he makes a bad kick. It's not going to hurt you too much. Might cost you a game. But did you find that they're really singly focused and switched on when they're out there?
Oh, look, there's 5 criteria to the judging, and skills and tactics are one of the criteria the judges are looking for to see who wins the round. So definitely defensive moves, offensive moves, as well as aggression in the ring plays a big part of how to win those 10 points.
Well, you've got a couple of tournaments coming up. I want to get to those in a minute, but I want to ask you about a fellow that's out here boxing from Uganda, Freddie Ziwa.
Yep.
What's happening with Freddie?
Oh, Freddie's a really colourful character. Probably boxes best at 60 kilos, but will fight anyone up to 69 kilos, and he's the current 69 kilogram elite open state champion. Fred's a dynamic personality, full of colour, and lights up the room when he comes on, and he's a gentleman in the ring and out of the ring. But got some real talent, and really hoping to showcase his.
And studying to be a chef.
He is out at Regency TAFE. Yep.
Like to see you walk in afterwards and say, didn't enjoy the meal.
Exactly right. No great dog food.
Hey, let's have a look at what's going on, mate. You've got a tournament coming up here, the under 19 state championships. They're in September.
They are, yep.
So, I mean, we say September, it seems like a long way away, but it's looming fast.
It is. Look, we're having that because we've got, that's part of our selection process for under 19 Australian championships, which are going to be in Adelaide this year. So the boxers will be competing for a spot in the state team on that weekend as well. So.
Phil, we're going to have to get you back, mate. Too many things to talk about. We didn't get through enough of it. Appreciate your time. Stay with us. Some stars coming up.